Yo, what's up guys, Insane Game Freak here to bring you something a little different here. As you just saw from that little clip of me being silent and showing off the box, this is figure reviews for the One Piece New World figures. It's the Zero Arcs POP, I believe. Yeah, Zero Figure Arts POP New World Edition, the first New World Edition One Piece figures. And essentially, I am going to be reviewing all of these. Everyone from Luffy to Brook, essentially. And there better not be a fucking point where I have to review Jinbei as a straw hat figure, because I will kill somebody. So anyways, I'm reviewing all of these figures. And we're going to start with the man himself, also because it's the first one I have. The first one in the first set I got. So, here we are. Now, I am not into the One Piece figure game as heavy as a lot of other people. So for any of you big time figure nuts, I should not be the end all be all when it comes to reviewing figures, mainly just because when it comes to this stuff, I'm not as heavy. Also, well, I'll get into that later, but actually, this is the box as I've been showing. There's a Funimation sticker right there. So I got this from Right Stuff, and I'm going to talk about the price and everything as I go into the review. But the first thing we need to do is get this bitch out of this box. So I'll catch you guys in a sec. Okay, so I'm back. Box empty. Plastic casing empty. And we now have our figure to be free. Monkey D. Luffy. And his little stand he comes with. So the first thing I guess we should talk about is the articulation, which really isn't that much. I don't want to bend this too much. His head does move because it's not like hard clay. Like alright, just to look at it, look at the detail. This is actually really good detail for the first line of these figures. Like, check this out. If it will focus. Focus. If you can see that, that is this insane detail in his hat. Even though the only thing I have a problem with in terms of color is that his hat doesn't look yellow. His hat actually looks brownish, goldish, and it's kind of annoying. They kept the detail, you know, the scar on his chest. It actually feels like a scar, like when you run your hands across this portion, it feels different. It has a different texture. You got his, you know, his little cape right here that actually does move. Yeah, it moves a little bit. His face, his hands. I don't know if you can see that. Detail on his hand, it's actually pretty good. Other hand, his pants has this cool effect that it should, like, you know, normal jeans, where it doesn't look all just like biscuit blue. Like, it looks like jean shorts, like they're supposed to be. They didn't bother to color like within all of his things. You know, the holes in his feet for the pegs, and then, you know, his feet. So that's in terms of articulation. In terms of looks and craftsmanship, which to me looked actually pretty cool. I mean, he kind of looks like he's flying from this position. I know I'm being a 5-year-old with it. They actually did paint his skin back there. You can actually see the back of his back has the same flesh color, like his legs. It's really good overall in terms of that. His head moves around a little bit, as I've been saying. As I said, because it's not like hard, but in terms of actual articulation, you know, when arms move around and feet move around, the head turns 360 degrees. None of that, because this is more of a stand figure, honestly. And then to show off from what I understand, the figure arts POP all have like this dead or alive stand they all come with. And here's Monkey D. Luffy. Also, for anyone who wants to know, the Jolly Rogers have changed for other Straw Hats. Luffy's looked exactly the same because Luffy never changed. But you know, it says Monkey D. Luffy, dead or alive. And it probably has like some stuff right here in Japanese, because you know these are Japanese figures. and there's 3 holes. I'm not totally sure why, but there's 3 holes. You can see the one on the top of the straw hat, but because Luffy hasn't changed that much, that's why his Jolly Roger hasn't changed. The only thing that changed was the scar on his chest, which isn't really saying much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on the figure and show you what he looks like on the figure. I mean on the stand, I'm sorry. As I said, I'm not necessarily like amazing at doing figure reviews, so I'm just going to talk about a few things. In terms of New World figures, there's only 2 sets of them right now, and that's these, the POPs, and then the ones they're coming out with now that you can pre-order on like Yes Asia, and I think Right Stuff has them too, which is where I got all my all the figures you'll be seeing reviews of is from Right Stuff. The secondary of these figures are the Sailing Again line, I believe is what they're called, and those are insanely much better than these. And you can tell just by looking at the preview pictures, because you can they all have articulation. You can put them in different poses. Some of them come with different expressions and everything. And here's Luffy on the figure. Okay. I'm trying to find something to put it on. Okay, I got it. I'm going to put it on the box to see how it looks with the stand. And this is Luffy with the stand. He stands perfectly fine. There's no unbalancedness, even though he is leaning back. There's a side view. Let's see if I can do this. And do a back view. Side view. And frontal view again. So he stands perfectly fine on the stand. They both fit in his feet in terms of the pegs. But as I was saying, in terms of the other figures, is that there's 2 New World figures as of right now. There's these figures, and then there's the other ones called the Sailing Again line. Sailing Again line, as I said, is way more detailed, way more you can do with the figures, but they're insanely high. So if you're not like a hardcore One Piece figure collector, there's no point in getting them unless you just really want high quality figures for once. These figures to me are right for what they're supposed to be. They're supposed to just be standalone figures, celebrate the beginning of the new arc in One Piece, the time skip era, the New World era essentially. And if people want to know the price tag for this, a lot of people are going to be thinking, oh wow, these are high as shit. No, these are high as shit if you import them. They're actually not that high when you import them because these are low quality figures. But I got mines on Right Stuff for, this was like $20. This was $20. Compared to the Sailing Again line, which I believe is like fucking... Sailing Again Luffy's like 100 and something. Like 130, 140 fucking dollars. So for $19, $20 for this quality of a figure, and it still looked good. The only complaint I really have is that his hat is too dark for what it's supposed to be, because this is supposed to be yellow, and this looks way too brown. That's my only complaint, is that his hat looks way too dark. But other than that, he looks perfectly fine. And the stand is fine. Jolly Roger, you can hold him upside down, he won't fall off. This to me is a good basic figure for someone who just wants, a basic straw hat figure. I'm going to put the link to Right Stuff's down there, because if I put, you can import it from Yes Asia, but Yes Asia has this same figure like $6 more. And it's because it's imported. So I just get it from Right Stuff. Technically I got this early because, in terms of Right Stuff anyway, because Right Stuff, this wasn't supposed to come out for Right Stuff, or any of the other figures I have, until November 30th. But, and actually it's late compared to the Japanese release, but the Japanese release for this figure, you can probably find reviews of this figure online already, because it came out originally in October or September. The first 3 sets. The first 3 sets is Luffy, Zoro, and Frankie. Then I believe it's Nami, Sanji, and Usopp, and Brook. And then the last one is Robin and Chopper. Which, Robin and Chopper, you won't see reviews of those figures from me until January, because that's when they come out on Right Stuff. The next set you should be getting is probably like Nami, Sanji, Brook, and Usopp. So that's really all I can say for the figure. I mean, the figure looks nice. There's really nothing else to talk about, because Luffy's is probably the most basic of all the figures. Well, yeah, it's probably the most basic. The expression is fine. He looks like Luffy. He doesn't have a goofy ass smile, or there's no. His hair is actually. Oh wow, his hair is like hard, so you can't bend his hair at all. Well, at least they put it this way: you can't bend his hair at all. They even got the scar, if you can see it on his face. I doubt you can, because I doubt this is gonna focus. No, it's not gonna focus. But the scar is on his face. His hair isn't connected to his head in the sense that it looks. You know how like they like to glue, like if your hair spikes down, they like to glue it on here. No, it actually sticks out. So, and it's hard. So be careful. You probably can break this. So be wary of that. In that sense. Other than that, I don't see any other problems. It's just that the hat coloration is kind of annoying. That's about it. That's like in blatant problems is hat coloration. But everything else is fine. So, as I said, I'm not a figure god. I don't know everything about these figures. I know there are ass amount of different types of One Piece figures. I know there's half-age New World figures already too, and the Sailing Again ones along with these. So, but in terms of just a basic figure that you just want to have, it's perfectly fine. So, I would suggest getting this. So this is the beginning of my One Piece figure reviews. The next ones that'll be up is probably Zoro and Frankie, and then when I get the rest of them in, I'll tell you which ones are up. Essentially, the next figure review you see after the Frankie review, I'll give you the list of the next ones. But Robin and Chopper will probably be last. Here's Luffy. New World. I know everyone's not like in Fishman Island. I think it's okay. And that's about it. So, that's the gameplay to win. From me and Luffy. Catch you guys later. Peace.